Hello, hello. Welcome back to the FPL One Percenters Podcast. Hammer, it's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Honestly, 8 days for a game week. It was a bit. It was interesting.
Yeah. I think we finally got to game week 20 and we're like, we don't even know what's going on.
So this is officially the halfway point of the season, basically, right? Game week 19 is sort of halfway there, so you can look at it glass half full, glass half empty. You're halfway there, or like you have halfway of the season still to come back as well.
I'm forgetting the first 19 game weeks. You start
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. No, but listen, at least you had a good double. But listen, before we get into it, we are brought to you by our friends at Footsapp. Please check out the app, available on the App Store, on the Play Store. Really cool app, takes all the hassle out of organizing football session. So when we're back playing football post-COVID, great shot. Please check them out. I would try and avoid talking about my team, but you know what? I'm going to just get it over with. I think it's a classic case of overthinking it, and I didn't have a City defender in, so I got bang on average, I believe, about 74 points. Really, really sad game week.
You just needed
But
John Stones.
yeah, I'd say John Stones, and I was quite close to getting him in, but it didn't happen in the end. I thought that Reece James would kind of level or score like just a bit less than him.
Yeah.
It turns out Stones scored 2, but it is what it is. We move on. So I went from about 400k to about 650k. So we have 19 game weeks to catch up. I know you guys has smashed it. I know you had a decent year, Justin, Sufal, and a good backline in general.
And I had Antonio.
And you had Antonio. Yeah, so I had Antonio in. Antonio scored the bulk of the points for me. But there
Yeah.
was a lot of disappointments, man.
Yeah, you can see from the Kings of the game week, like the team on the side,
Mm.
it's like how many of those players did we have? I think I had Antonio and Justin. Besides
Yeah,
that, like that's it.
yeah,
Right?
I
Like
had it. Yeah, true. I had Antonio. That's about it, to be honest.
yeah. From the big hitters, no one did anything. Like
Yeah.
Salah, Bruno, KDB, all
Mm.
flops.
Yeah, absolutely true. It was quite bad, and the other thing as well was that Leicester scored 4 goals across 2 game weeks, and Vardy didn't get a goal or an assist, which is like unheard of.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
'cause, like, I read this stat where he scores in like 70% of games away from home, or
mhm.
he
Yeah,
converts 70% of his chances, but at
yeah,
home he only converts 10%,
yeah. Like
which
his
is
XG is like
insane.
half away from home as it is like at home or something like that. It's
Yeah,
it's crazy. So much better away. But this time, there's one where he ducked out of the way for Madison to score, which is a good move and deserved an assist, but you don't get assists for those kind of things. Or you know
yeah,
what I'm on about? Madison's goal in the midweek
yeah.
game, I think.
It's smart player, but doesn't get anything.
Yeah, man. And now he's out, so he'll have to be shifted on from my team.
Yeah,
But these other sort of things like Liverpool not scoring at all, I know plenty must have gone for Salah triple captain probably, or even De Bruyne triple captain. Both kind of. De Bruyne was a bit disappointing in general, like not
yeah,
as big as expected.
yeah. I think his injury is a blessing in disguise.
Mm.
I think everyone brings him in because he's Kevin De Bruyne. Like you want him in your
Yeah,
team because everyone's gonna have him. But I think we've realized this year is not the same player, or the team's not the same, so he's
the
not
team's
getting
not the same. So even if he's creating the chances, there's just something missing. Like he's either worried about his like
yeah.
Fernandinho used to do the job of 2 players, I think, in the middle. So it just adds.
Yeah. But I think it's his mindset too. Like his in the last game, he had like two or three chances where Sterling put him through, and he has a chance to shoot.
Mm,
But he's not taking the shot. He's instead putting the cross into the box. He's trying to find someone,
yeah.
and that's where we go back to him. He's only scored one goal from open play this year, right? And that's
Yeah.
because he just doesn't want to shoot.
Yeah, yeah, true. I think the last one before this, I think and he hadn't scored for a while since like the Champions League, and then he scored last week or the week before. No,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
That's the one goal.
The Champions League last season, not even like in August, he scored from open play before that, I think.
Yeah, ages ago. Yeah,
And
but I think
Newcastle did. Sorry, carry on.
no. I was gonna say I think for Liverpool it's a bit
Mm,
different.
yeah.
I know they scored. They didn't score any goals. They lost to
Mm,
Burnley, tied to United, but
mm,
we saw in the FA Cup that they can score. It's just
mm.
they've been going through a rut, so I wouldn't worry too much about their players.
Yeah, it was one of those just a sad game week to have backed. I guess that you backed the wrong players, I guess.
Yeah,
But Bruno as well didn't like score too highly. He's not on this. It was a it was a week for the risk takers, to be honest. But if you had a solid core, like if you had stocked up on your City back line, and you had like West Ham players, Antonio came through, Sufa came through, Caswell came through with double digits as well. Suchek didn't, which is I think a lot of people are holding him, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But aside from that, Leeds were a bit disappointing, but they had just the one game, right, in the end.
Yeah, the reason I put them in here is so they didn't score anything this week. I think they lost last week, right? And
they lost in the FA Cup as well, I think, to Crawley or something.
Yeah, and they lost in the FA Cup too. So you're starting to get to that stage where halfway through the season, you're not playing championship teams, right? You're trying to keep the intensity against Premier League teams.
Yeah.
And maybe they're starting to get tired. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I keep a closer eye on them because Bielsa's style doesn't change. Like he's all action, all game. So
yeah, that's true. No matter who you're playing against.
Yeah.
And Chelsea a weird one, man, as well.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch going forward, considering that Lampard's gone. So we'll see what Tuchel can do. But I wouldn't bring in anyone from Chelsea. Like even their defense now looks suspect.
Yeah, I know, and that's how the fact that he just dropped Zuma, and I don't know what was happening there. I was really hoping the clean sheet they got. Reece James didn't play, obviously, so, so I was quite annoyed. Then he came on for a solid 1 point. Only 26 points shy of his potential replacement, John Stones. So you win some, you lose some, man. But yeah, Arsenal have been on a decent run as well. To be fair. Who did they beat? Newcastle?
They played. Who did they play?
Played Newcastle 3-0. It's hard to keep track of all these games.
Yeah, I think for them, we had that. They had the miss at the beginning, right? Like it was viral.
Yeah. Aubameyang scored 2, and then Saka scored 1.
Yeah, but they had that miss at the start where Aubameyang missed a different net, and then somehow he ends up scoring 2 goals. Right. So the way I see Arsenal is, I think now they're sort of getting the hang of how they want to play. The players are getting a bit more confidence. So you might see them scoring a few more goals, especially with Oba getting 2 now. Like he might be a player who starts picking it up as the second half progresses. And this is where I also draw a line. So last year we had Bruno Fernandes, who came in January and then lit it up. Yeah, he was the main guy you needed in your team. So I always look at the halfway point as sort of like a reset. Like don't forget about those guys who might have done badly the first 19 game weeks.
Yeah.
If they pick up form, they could do well. And I see Aubameyang being one of those guys. Like if he starts picking it up, he could be the MVP for the second half.
True, because we did pick him as a must-have at one point this season, but
I picked him as MVP for the year.
Yeah, so we're hoping we can still hope. But now with going forward, what do you reckon? Game week 20 onwards. I know there's a bit of a block of games, and we've lost KDB and Vardy. So just a preface, Hass is going to do a bit of a statistical deep dive on KDB replacements and Vardy replacement. But these are just our general thoughts because we're sort of making transfers, and you guys will probably make transfers as well. So just who you could potentially bring in and what the fixtures are kind of looking like, right, Hammer?
Yeah, it's tough. I think everyone's leaning, from what I've seen on the fantasy page, everyone's leaning between Sterling and Gundogan, right? So it seems like that's where everyone's going to go. But replacing KDB with another City player, knowing that KDB is the guy that ran the show, right? Even though he wasn't getting the points, everything went through him. He created everything, right? If people chased KDB, Gundogan got space, Sterling got space, Bernardo Silva got space. Now they know that the central guy is gone, so they'll probably end up playing with Rodri and Fernandinho in the middle.
Yeah, true. And it's I mean the games are good. Yeah, it's like you can't deny that the fixtures are great. West Brom, Sheffield, Burnley. Right? I mean, I know they struggled against West Brom last time, but just generally, if there was an inform, because they are in form. Right? So if KDB was there, it's a no-brainer to have him in, to have him and like Gundogan in or something like that. So I got Foden in last week.
You keep him?
As in, right now I'll keep him. So my midfield is Son, Salah, Foden, and Bruno. So I'm going to keep Foden. There's no reason to drop him just yet because I've got to get rid of Vardy, and probably get some coverage, City coverage at the back. So it's not a priority for me at the moment to get rid of him. But if I was doing it now, I'd probably go Gundogan. Just eye test. He's getting in the box so much more. He's cheaper as well. He would be like a like for like to someone like Podence, who I had before. So like, which is crazy to think at 5.5. And he's played every game since game week 13 to 19, I think. That's what I heard.
And he took the penalty, right? So
he'll be on pens there as well.
Yeah.
He's worth a punt. Like if, as opposed to like a Podence or a Souček, you would have a Gundogan to cover that City mid. Even if he gets a 2-pointer, most of the other players along that are going to get 2 points as well. Most weeks.
Yeah, and bringing him in for KDB, that gives you a 6.4 million to then invest in another striker or in your defense, right? So if he continues the form, he's a solid option.
True. They'll have doubles coming, City, most likely. They'll have doubles, like quite a few doubles at some point, like game week 23, 25. I don't know the exact game weeks, but I know they have doubles coming.
Yeah, I think it's game week 26. So they have, I think they have a game, and Aston Villa have 2 games, right?
As well.
Yeah. So
what do you think of Villa? They look good, no?
Yeah, I think. Well, they beat Newcastle, right? So
and they played well against City as well, to be fair.
Yeah, they defended well against City. That's what I'll say, right? So I think City shouldn't have won that game. So if we're looking at form, that should have been a 0-0 like all day long, right? But I think with Villa, you're relying on Grealish, right? Like he's gonna do well. Now we saw with Barkley back, El Ghazi got set on the bench, right? Bertrand Traore, I think, is a decent punt. Right? If you're taking a punt, but if I go Villa, I go Grealish. I wouldn't even bother with the others.
Burnley, Southampton, and West Ham next 3, and then Arsenal. So those look like decent fixtures, to be honest, as well.
Yeah, I'd be cautious of Burnley only
because you wouldn't rush into it. Like you can maybe avoid the Burnley because they're away at Burnley as well. So you wouldn't rush towards that. But if you were looking to sort of plan towards having Villa players, then they're on a decent run at this. Like they're in form and they've got a decent run of fixtures.
Yeah, like 100%. I think Villa is doing well. We mentioned Aubameyang already, so I think he's a punt if you want to make a straight swap and you want to go for differential. His fixtures with Southampton in the first game this midweek, I think he has Kyle Walker-Peters and Ryan Bertrand are both out.
Okay.
Right? So that means on the wings they have no one. So Aubameyang instantly gets more space either side, right? So that way I see him at least getting a chance. But there is a chance he might not play, right? Because he was out for personal reasons in the FA Cup.
Oh, okay.
And according to Arteta, he doesn't know if he's going to be back for this midweek game. So
no way.
He's a risk. Yeah. Rashford got injured, I think, in the FA Cup.
He's having a scan today or something, I believe.
Yeah, so he's also a risk. But United's fixtures, I have to say, look really good. Like you have Sheffield, then Arsenal, Southampton, and Everton. I think the Everton game is going to be a bit tougher, but United look like they can score. At least
against anyone as well at the moment, right?
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 a game. They seem like they can put them away. So
yeah, but that's just us hyping as well. Yeah, we scored 3 against Liverpool, so now we can beat anyone. But it's good, to be honest. They look like they can score against anyone. And Cavani was class as well. I know it's sort of off tangent, but would you take a punt on Cavani if you were like replacing a Vardy?
Yeah, the only.
You think he'll play? How much do you think he'll play though? That's the thing.
So it depends on Rashford's injury. So I think Martial didn't play the FA Cup game because he will keep rotating with Cavani. So there'll be games where Martial starts up top. There'll be games where Cavani starts up top. Yeah. If Rashford is injured, then I think Martial fills in on the left wing, which means that Cavani has a better chance of starting up top in most games because then they won't have anyone else playing in that spot. Right. So I think if Rashford's injured, then Cavani is a good punt. If Rashford's back, then it's a 50-50. Like he'll play, he'll get benched some games. Yeah.
Nice. From an eye test, again, we're not looking at it statistically, but Leicester have good fixtures: Everton, Leeds, and Fulham, and then Wolves. Maddison, Barnes, would you back any of them, or would you, if you instead of a Grealish, for example?
Yeah, I take Maddison over Grealish any day.
Really? Yeah. Now, currently.
Yeah, currently, like even with Vardy, I think with Vardy it helped Maddison because people chased Vardy instead.
Yeah.
But now he seems like he's going to play either Jose Perez or Nacho up top. So Madison will play next to them, and in that role, he must moves around everywhere. He goes left, he goes right, he comes back. So he
You
gets
see his interview after
I
the
think,
game against whoever they played, but he was basically like, he said that, I heard Jamie Carragher say that I need to get in the box more, I need to score more goals if I want to play for England. And so I've been doing that. And since that interview, he scored 5 in the last 7 games. So he's
yeah,
been on it.
and he has the pedigree. Like he has done this in the past. It's not like this is the first year he's scoring goals,
Yeah.
right?
True.
Whereas Grealish, as good as he is, he
Yeah.
feeds other players more, and if they don't score, then
Yeah.
he gets nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, I don't know. For me, I feel like because of the doubles they have coming up and the fact that they are in form, like they're playing well, he's close to a must-have for me. I think I'll be looking for a way to get him in at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I think if you're getting closer to the double game week, then you
Yeah,
want to take Grealish, and you also
yeah,
want to look at defenders.
yeah. True, true.
Because they have 2 games in hand, right? That's 2 extra
Yeah,
games. It's at the minimum you get at least 6 extra points.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. So it's decent. I mean, he got what 1 assist this week as well against Newcastle. So he keeps it ticking along. To be fair, which is the one criticism was that either he gets a 2 or like a 20. Grealish earlier in the season.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
last 3 have been like 2, 7, 2, and 6, which is decent-ish returns. At least if he's like returning and keeping it ticking along.
yeah. But then you go back to your initial point, right? For 7.7 or Gundogan for 5.5, right? Like if you're
Yeah,
getting 2.7,
that's
2.6,
true.
and
That's true.
right,
The sad part about this now is like we would normally have a conversation that Grealish for 7.7 or Trent or Robertson, but
yeah,
they're out of the conversation now. Trent and Robertson, aren't they? Kind of.
they're too expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah, but
think
they were always worth it though up until now, up
yeah,
until this season rather.
yeah. They used to. I think
I think
I think
post Van Dijk injury, yeah, maybe.
yeah. There was one. I was watching one post game show about the Liverpool United game,
Yeah,
and I forget who the pundit was, but he was talking about how
mm,
if you watch Trent and Robertson, their game has changed. In the past,
yeah,
whenever the balls came from Trent across into the box, Robertson was in the box,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or he would run in for every
yeah,
play. If
mm,
he put a cross in the box,
mm,
he was putting the cross in from inside the box. Like he was
yeah,
close to just tapping it in, but he'd
yeah,
give it to someone else.
true.
Whereas now their crosses or their plays come from out wide,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It's
So
more
they're
like a
kind of,
hopeful cross.
yeah. So it seems like they're compensating for their defensive play
Yeah,
by not going too far up.
yeah, true.
So if you're not going to go all the way up, you might be creating chances, but they're not as good
They're
as
not as like there are big chances, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
True, true,
Right.
true,
So
true. One that makes sense. To be fair, it's changed the way they play, I guess, without Van Dijk. One thing I wanted to ask you as well was Vardy replacement. I know there's budget strikers around. There's Watkins. We spoke about Villa, but
mhm,
there's also Harry Kane. If you
yeah,
want to stick within that price bracket, I know there's Cavani to discuss, there's Martial, but there's Kane as well. Now, their fixtures after Liverpool look like Kane kind of fixtures: Brighton, Chelsea, and then West Brom, right?
yeah,
And Liverpool look like they could concede as well.
yeah. I wouldn't bank against him for the Liverpool game. I think he can score.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's due a hat trick, man. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling. But
No,
would you double up on Son and Kane or still wait a bit?
I think if I'm replacing KDB, so for myself, I'm thinking I might go with Aubameyang.
Mm,
But if I was going for a striker, right,
yeah,
then honestly, like you watch Kane play every game, he's
yeah,
getting shots in the box, he's shooting from outside, he's getting headers. Like
mm,
you said, like you can see him scoring 2 goals every game.
yeah.
He's one of the few strikers who can do that.
But
Right?
but but at the in the next 5 games, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool, Brighton, Chelsea, West Brom, City. So Brighton and West Brom fine, but Liverpool, Chelsea, and City, like objectively, quite difficult games.
I think the Liverpool game is not as hard as you might think.
Yeah,
Right?
neither is the Chelsea one.
Yeah, Kane dominates the center
Yeah,
center
but
backs, right? Like
after
how
that,
he plays.
yeah, that's true. But after that,
Yeah,
West Ham, Burnley, Palace, Arsenal, Southampton, Newcastle. So like, it
yeah,
really,
yeah. Then you need him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I feel like maybe if you hold one for the next 5 years, not too badly off, like Son or Kane, with a view to like double up after 25 potentially.
Yeah. The player that I'm thinking, if you're not getting Kane, and a lot of people are dropping him, is DCL. Right?
Okay.
Like don't pass on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Like this is a guy that started off the season well. Yes, he had a small downward
All of
slump.
his friends are back as well, yeah. So that's one thing to think about. Richarlison is back. Hammers is back. I know Dean. I don't know if Dean is back, but the other two are definitely back as well.
Yeah, Dini. I think he set out the FA Cup game, but I think he's back.
Okay, nice.
And he plays with Leicester is tough, but then Newcastle and Leeds, like those are two.
He did get a goal as well. I know it was against lower league opposition, but he got a goal as well. Richarlison scored as well.
Yeah.
You're not on the backing the Richarlison train? No. Still?
No, if I'm picking between the two, I go DCL. I know in the past we've always gone Richarlison, like always.
He was the guy, to be honest. Another team whose fixtures look good. I know. Sorry, this is meant to be a short one, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're finished now.
Yeah, we'll call it now. Are you gonna get any Newcastle players? They got good fixtures.
No.
Okay, fine.
I'm saying the same thing I said for Fulham. Like their strikers, I know Wilson looks good, but honestly, they're so dire going forward. I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Fair enough. I think we can sort of leave it there with this week in general. Final thoughts, sort of deadlines tomorrow at 4:30. And any captaincy shouts, I would say I'm going to go Bruno against Sheffield and just keep it simple.
Same.
I'm still debating what I'm going to do about Vardy. I've still got him in my squad. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to get in a City defender, though, at long last.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be quite cash rich because I'm dropping Robertson, it looks like, this week. So I'm going to keep the faith with Reece James for now. So let's see.
Yeah,
I know, but I think Robertson's too much cash to hold. So let's see.
Yeah, well, they play Spurs, so.
Yeah. Also, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and comment. We really appreciate it. And we have a Telegram group as well, which is basically just we have a chat, sometimes fantasy related, and so link will be in the bio. Have a look. We drop some stuff in there. We drop the links to our pods. Hammer, anything else about Telegram?
Nope.
Lots of opinions from a lot of people in the group, so it's fun.
If you join in, I think you can get instant answers to any questions. We share all the stats there.
I mean, it's our opinions, so it might not always be correct, but Hass is in there as well, just to correct us if we're wrong. Also, we miss Hassan Kazim. They hopefully should be back on Thursday. Hass is flying high, very much in the top 1%, and so I look forward to having them back. But good luck for this game week. There's about 4 game weeks in the next 2 weeks. So good luck, and we will see you all soon.
All right. Take care.
Take it easy. Good luck.